this is Stamping Songbird, and today I'm going to do another birthday card using a stamp set from My Favorite Things. This is Picture Perfect Party Animals. It's a fantastic set. They have a lot of sets like this with 6 images in little photo frames. You really should check them out. I'm going to use this leftover 100-pound white cardstock. I don't want to waste any, so I'm just going to use the left side and stamp 2 of these images there. I'm choosing the giraffe because I am partial to giraffes, and I'm going to also choose the elephant because the elephant has balloons that are similar to the ones in the giraffe's picture, and it's a simpler image, easy to color. So I'm using my Tonic Studios Tim Holtz stamping platform in the travel size. And I'm using my Memento Tuxedo black ink, which is my go-to hybrid ink. It is Copic friendly. I'm using my Numinator, which was a giveaway from Del and Artie's channel. And it really helps for those of us who have trouble with our hands and our bones, so that we're able to press down. So now the image is nice and crisp. And I'm just gonna cut these out and color them offline. And we're back. So here I use my Copic markers to color both images. I think they came out really, really nice. I'm using a piece of red cardstock that I'm just gonna use to mount the pictures on, just to give it a little bit of a frame. And I chose red because I have red balloons and they're each wearing a red bow. I'm using the Art Institute glitter glue to mount my images, and in my previous video I did say that I don't recommend using this kind of glue specifically because it makes your card stiff, but I'm going to use a combination of this liquid glue with the Scotch ATG gun. So now I'm just going to put those to the side. Excuse me. And this is my card base. It is a basic A2 card base, which measures 5.5 by 4.25 when it's closed. And it is from Simon Says Stamps. It is in the Peacock color. It's a gorgeous color. This is a stamp set from Art Impressions called Birthday Wishes. And I said in my previous video, I don't have a problem mixing my companies as long as the images work together. So I'm grabbing the balloons from this stamp set to use on the card front. So I'm putting this just on a basic stamping block, and I'm going to use Versamark watermark ink, which is what you use for embossing, but it also leaves a nice watermark image. So I'm using that to just do a little bit of the balloons on the background or on the face of the card, which will become the background to the 2 stamped images. So here I finished putting them on, and I'm not going to do anything else to it. Just let it dry and that's it. Next, I'm taking a piece of red cardstock, which measures, I believe, a little bit over 2.5 inches, and it is 5.5 inches long or wide. And then on top of that, I'm going to place a piece of this beautiful cupcake paper, which is from an old scrapbook set called Party Time from Echo Park. That's going to go right on top, so it's going to serve kind of like a belly band right across. And here I'm going to use my ATG gun so that my card doesn't become very stiff. That's going to go right there, and I realized that for some reason it's just a tad longer than my card. I'm not sure what I did wrong there, so I'm just going to grab some scissors and just trim that little piece off. No harm, no foul. Great. So now I'm going to decide where my images are going to go. I do want to offset them a little bit so they're not perfectly straight and so that we can see those cupcakes. I'm going to have them face one another and put them on a little slant. My sentiment is going to go on the bottom right. So now I'm grabbing the stamp set again, and these sentiments actually go with the picture. So the one that I am picking is the one that talks about having a hope your party is a blowout, because there are balloons in the pictures. The other ones say things like selfie, hippo, so they actually match the images. So here I stamped the sentiment on the left, you can see there, but I forgot to use the embossing buddy, which is like a little powder. I don't know if it's talcum powder or if it's cornstarch, but it allows the embossing powder to adhere to where you stamped it and nowhere else. So I'm using some white embossing powder, and I decided to just emboss both sides anyway. And that little bottle is from Daiso, which is a Japanese discount store that we have near me, and it's meant for condiments, but it works perfectly for this. Just gonna trim down that sentiment, and of course I'm only using one of the two that I made, and I'm just gonna give it a little fishtail at the end so it looks like a banner, and just put that on the right side. It's important for you to move things around and decide where you want them before you commit. You don't want to place something down at the last minute. You realize you don't want it there and you can't move it. And you get all that work for nothing. And that's happened to me plenty of times. So now I'm just debating, do I pop them up on some foam? And of course, I am going to pop them up on some foam because what are one of my cards without foam? Gotta have the foam. So this is a set called Crafted. It's from Amazon. It brings you 20 sheets. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I know it was pretty cheap. So I just cut up 2 pieces, put that on the back of these 2 squares. And you can see I left some space empty, and that's because of the belly band. It raises the card a little bit, so I don't need foam on those areas. Okay, so my images are placed, and I'm able to move the giraffe over just a tad because I realized it went over the card right before it dried. So I was very lucky there. Next, because my card base is a blue, I need to add a piece of white cardstock in 4 by 5 1/4 size, and I'm going to use this corner punch corner rounder. It's pretty old. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but each of them has 2 different shapes. So I'm going to use that corner that says photo. It gives it a little cute little notch at the end, just to give it a little bit more interest on the inside. And I'm just going to adhere that right there to the center. Again, I'm going to use the ATG gun because I don't want the card to get stiff. And that fits perfectly there in the center. So I thought about doing something interesting on the inside as well. So I'm going to bring back those balloons from the Birthday Wishes Art Impression set and just put some balloons on the corners of the inside and then color those. So I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink this time, not with Versamark ink, because I do want to see the balloons. And I'll just place anywhere from 4 to 6 balloons on left and the right. Okay, and now to color them. Voila, they're colored. Colored that offline. So now I'm ready to finish the front. So of course I'm going to bring in my Nuvo Crystal Glaze. I love this stuff. I said it in the last video. I think I say it in every video that I use it. I go through it like water. It really does make a difference. You'll see how the images go from being completely flat to having a little bit of more interest on dimension. And I think I used the word dimension like 10 times in the last video. But it really does make a huge difference. So I'm just going to add that to all of the balloons. I'm going to add the crystal glaze also to the bows and to the eyes of the giraffe. And of course I'll have to wait maybe an hour till it dries. You don't need that long, but I always want to be safe and make sure that it's completely dry. And now we're back and it's completely dry. So here you can see the difference. The balloons almost look like they're popping out, right? And so do the bow ties. Oh, I love the way this looks. This is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to use this as an actual birthday card for someone. I think it came out really nice. And here's the inside. And of course the inside I'm not gonna use some of that glaze because it needs to stay flat. But that's it. I hope you liked it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see next. Until next time, happy